Hello everyone, I'm Genia, and today I'm going to tell a story. Journey to the Western Chapter 1. The Birth of a Monkey King. Poem. Before chaos was divided, the world was a swirling mess, boundless, obscure, no one in sight. Then, Pangu split to chaos, and the heavens and earth separated, clarifying the murky, distinguishing the clear. Heaven and earth embraced all beings, guiding them towards benevolence, allowing everything to grow and thrive. They say the lifespan of heaven and earth is 12,900 years, forming a great cycle. Yuan. This great cycle is divided into 12 periods of OE, each corresponding to an earthly branch. Si, Chu, Yin, Mao, Chen, Si, Wu, Wei, Shen, Yu, Su, Han. Each period lasts 1,800 years. Now, let us break it down into a single day. During C hour, the sky begins to brighten. At Chu hour, the roosters crow. During Yin hour, it is still dark. At Ma hour, the sun rises. Chen hour is breakfast time. C hour is when everyone is busy with their own activities. Noon marks the Wu hour, with the sun at its zenith. During Wei hour, the sun starts to move westward. Shen hour is the afternoon when the sun sets. At Yu hour, the sun has set. During Su hour, the sky darkens, and people begin to rest. Tai hour brings complete darkness at night, just like his daily cycle. When a Su period ends, heaven and earth become dark, and all things vanish. After another 5,400 years, we arrive at the beginning of the high period, when everything is shrouded in darkness, and all life in heaven and earth ceases to exist. Thus, it's called chaos. Handan. Then, after another 5,400 years, as the high period nears its end, the beginning of a new cycle, Yuan, approaches. Close to the C period, the world gradually starts to brighten again. Shao Kanji once said, the winter solstice is halfway through the C hour. The celestial heart remains unchanged. When a forced yuan energy moves, all things have yet to be born. At this time, the foundation is set. After another 5,400 years, during the C period, the light and clear energy rises, bringing forth the sun, moon, stars, and constellations. The sun, moon, stars, and constellations are referred to as the four symbols. So, it's said that the heavens first opened during the C period. After another 5,400 years, as the C period comes to an end, the true period begins, and heaven and earth start to solidify. The I Ching states, magnificent is a great Tian, supreme is a great Kan. All things are generated from these, conforming to the changes of heaven and earth. Thus, the earth begins to take shape. After another 5,400 years, during the true period, the heavy and turbid energy condenses downward, forming water, fire, mountains, rocks, and soil. These elements are known as the five forms. Plus, it is said that the earth first began to form during the true period, and after another 5,400 years, the true period ends, and the Yuan period begins, marking the birth of all things. The Book of Calendars says, heaven's energy descends, earth's energy ascends, and as they meet, all things are born. At this time, the sky is clear and the earth is fresh, with yin and yang harmonizing. After another 5,400 years, during the Yuan period, humans, animals, birds, and other living beings began to appear, marking the establishment of the three talents of heaven, earth, and humanity. Thus, it is said that humans were born during the Yin period. Thanks to Pangu for opening the heavens and earth, the three sovereigns governing the world, and the five emperors establishing human principles, the world was divided into four great continents: East Victory Divine Continent, West Heifer Continent, South Jambu Continent, and North Kuru Continent. This book describes only the East Victory Divine Continent. Across the seas, there is a country called Outflow. This country is near the sea, and in the sea, There is a mountain called Flower Fruit Mountain. This mountain is the ancestral vein of the 10 continents and the origin of the 3 islands. Born since heaven and earth separated the clear and turbid, what a great mountain it is. There's a poem to prove it, which says its grandeur surpasses the vast ocean. Its power stabilizes the Jade Sea. The tide surges like a silver mountain, and fish swim into the caves. In the Jade Sea, waves roll like snowdrifts, as clams rise from the depths where water and fire meet. Soil accumulates high, and in the East Sea, tall peaks stand proudly on the red cliffs. There are strange rats, with steep peaks soaring upward on the red cliffs. Colorful phoenixes sing in harmony, and in front of the precipices, a lone tealing rests on the mountain peaks. The calls of golden pheasants are often heard, and in the stone caves, ravens are frequently seen. In the forest, there are long-living deer and immortal foxes, and in the trees, there are spiritual birds and black cranes. The rare herbs and exotic flowers never wither, and the green pines and cypress trees remain evergreen throughout the seasons. Immortal peaches bear fruit regularly, and the bamboo groves often touch the clouds. In the depths of the mountain streams, vines grow densely, and the surrounding grasslands are vibrant in color. This is truly the pillar that supports the heavens where all rivers converge, the unchanging foundation of the earth through eternity. At the top of that mountain, there's a celestial stone. This stone is 3 shan, 6 chi, and 5 kan tall, with a circumference of 2 shan and 4 chi. Its height corresponds to the 365 degrees of a heavenly cycle, and its circumference aligns with the Earth's solar terms of a lunar calendar. The stone features 9 holes and 8 cavities, which correspond to 9 palaces and 8 trigrams, surrounded by nothing but air, with orchids on either side. This celestial stone has been absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, and the brilliance of the sun and moon since the dawn of time. Through this prolonged influence, it finally became infused with divine energy, nurturing an immortal embryo. And one day, the celestial stone suddenly cracked open, producing a stone egg as large as a ball. When the wind touched it, it transformed into a stone monkey, complete with all its features and limbs. The stone monkey learned to crawl and walk, going in all 4 directions. Its eyes emitted 2 beams of golden light that shot straight up to the heavens, startling the Jade Emperor in the celestial realm. The Jade Emperor gathered the celestial beings of heaven, and upon seeing the dazzling golden light, he ordered clairvoyant eyes and keen ears to open the south heaven gate to investigate. The 2 celestial generals faithfully carried out their orders and exited the south heaven gate. They observed carefully and listened intently. Soon, they returned to report, "Your Majesty, we have investigated the source of a golden light. It originates from a small country on the eastern edge of the East Victory Divine Continent, where there is a mountain called Flower Fruit Mountain. On this mountain, there is a celestial stone that produced an egg, which transformed into a stone monkey upon encountering the wind. The stone monkey is going in all directions, and golden light is shooting from its eyes straight up to the celestial palace. Now that the stone monkey has consumed the natural essence, the golden light will gradually fade." The Jade Emperor, with benevolence, said, "This being is born from the essence of heaven and earth. There is nothing particularly special about it." The monkey roamed the mountains, able to walk and leap, eating plants, drinking from mountain streams, picking flowers, and foraging for wild fruits. It befriended wolves and insects, mingled with tigers and leopards, bonded with deer, and became close with other monkeys. At night, it slept under rugged cliffs, and in the morning, it played among the peaks and caves. Truly, in the mountains, there is no counting of years, and time passes unnoticed. One hot day, the monkey and a group of other monkeys sought shade from the heat under some pine trees. While they played, you can see each one of them. They jumped from tree to tree, picking flowers and fruits, played marble games and tile games, ran around in sand pits, building towers, chased dragonflies, cut wax hoppers, paid respects to the old heavens, and prayed to Buddha, pulled vines, wove grass spiders, caught lice, bit and pinched each other, groomed their fur, trimmed their nails, pushed and shoved, cut and pulled each other. They played casually under the green pines, and watched by the clear streams. After playing for a while, the group of monkeys went to bathe in a mountain stream, seeing the water rushing and splashing like rolling fruits. As the old saying goes, birds have their own calls, beasts have their own sounds. The monkeys said, "We don't know where this water comes from. Today we have nothing to do. Why not follow a stream upstream, see where it begins, and have some fun?" With a shout, everyone gathered their mates, called their brothers, and ran together, climbing the mountain along the stream. Heading straight for the source, they found a waterfall cascading down. They saw a white rainbow rising, 1,000-foot snow like spray flying. The sea breeze cannot break it. The moon over the river still shines. The cool air spreads among the green mountains. The remaining water nourishes the verdant greenery. The waterfall named Shenyuan truly looks like a hanging curtain. The monkeys clapped their hands and exclaimed, "Great water! Great water! It flows from the mountain foot all the way to the sea." They then said, "Whoever can dive in and find the source without getting hurt, we'll make him our king." After 3 shouts, a stone monkey jumped out from the bushes, shouting, "I'll go! I'll go!" This stone monkey was truly extraordinary. Today, fame and fortune favor him. Destiny has led him here, and fate decrees he enters the celestial palace. The stone monkey squinted, crawled, and leapt into the waterfall stream. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and looked up, discovering there were no waves inside and he could clearly see a bridge. He paused to compose himself, and upon closer inspection, realized that it was an iron bridge. Water from the stone cave rushed out underneath, flowing downward and obscuring the bridge entrance. The stone monkey bowed again and walked onto the bridge, and upon further exploration, he found what seemed to be a dwelling place. Rays of green moss piled up, the blue clouds drifting like jade and the light flickering like misty haze. A quiet room with open windows, and small benches and planks that had developed patterns. Pearl-like caves hung with dragon pearls, and the ground was covered with exotic flowers and grasses. The stove by the cliff still has traces of fire, and the cups on the table still show remnants of food. The stone seats and stone beds are truly charming, and the stone vases and stone bowls are even more praiseworthy. There are also a few bamboo stalks and a few plum blossoms and several pine trees often covered in rainwater, truly making it look like a home. After looking around for a while, the stone monkey jumped to the middle of the bridge, looked left and right, and saw a stone tablet in the center. The tablet had large characters engraved in regular script: Flower Fruit Mountain, Blessed Land, Water Curtain Cave, Heavenly Paradise. The stone monkey was overjoyed and quickly jumped out, closing his eyes, crouching down, and leaping out of the water, laughing excitedly. He said, "What a great fortune! What a great fortune!" The other monkeys gathered around him and asked, "How is it inside? How deep is the water?" The stone monkey said, "No water, no water. It is an iron bridge. Beyond the bridge is a naturally perfect place." The other monkeys asked, "How can you tell it's a good place?" The stone monkey laughed and said, "The water flows from a stone cave under the bridge, hanging down and covering the entrance. There are flowers and trees by the bridge, and it's a stone house. Inside, there are stone pots, stone stoves, stone bowls, stone basins, stone beds, and stone benches. In the middle, there's a stone tablet with the words Flower Fruit Mountain, Blessed Land, Water Curtain Cave, Heavenly Paradise. This is truly a perfect place for us to live. It's spacious inside, enough to accommodate hundreds or even thousands of us. We can all move in and be protected from the weather. Here we have shelter from the wind, cover from the rain. We won't fear frost or snow, and we won't hear the sound of thunder. The area is always bathed in a misty glow, and a specious energy constantly fills the air. The pines and bamboo stay green all year, and the exotic flowers bloom beautifully every day. And the monkeys were all very excited and said, "You go first, lead us in." The stone monkey closed his eyes, crawled down, and jumped in, shouting, "Everyone, follow me." The brave monkeys jumped in right away. The timid ones hesitated, stretching their necks and scratching their heads, shouting loudly. But after a while, they all went in as well. Once they crossed the bridge, each monkey started grabbing pots and bowls, fighting for the stoves and beds, moving things around. The playful monkey nature showed, and none of them stayed still until they were all exhausted and finally stopped. The stone monkey sat down and said, "Everyone, a person without trust is not known how they can be trusted. You all said a lever could go in and come out without getting hurt. You would make him your king. I have gone in and come out, found this heavenly paradise for us to rest, allowing each of us to enjoy the blessings of a home. So why not make me your king?" Hearing this, the monkeys immediately bowed and prostrated themselves, one by one, in order, paying their respects to a stone monkey, calling him great king of 1,000 years. From that moment, the stone monkey ascended to a throne, dropping the word stone from his name, and was henceforth known as the handsome monkey king. There is a poem that serves as proof. 3 yuan energies converge to give birth to life. The celestial stone embodies the essence of the sun and moon, transforming from an egg into a monkey to fulfill the great ray, borrowing a name to pair with the elixir. Internally, one cannot see it due to formlessness. Externally, it is known to take shape. Throughout history, all people belong to this, becoming kings and saints, freely dominating. The handsome monkey king led a group of macaques, blenders, and other monkeys, assigning roles of ministers and assistants. In the mornings, they played on Flower Fruit Mountain, and at night, they resided in Water Curtain Cave. They bonded deeply with one another, neither mingling with birds nor joining wild beasts alone. They made their king, and their happiness was boundless. In the spring, they gathered flowers to eat. In the summer, they foraged for various fruits. In autumn, they collected chestnuts to get through the season. In the winter, they sought out Solomon's seal for sustenance. And the handsome monkey king lived a carefree and innocent life, which lasted for 300 to 500 years. One day, during a joyous feast with the other monkeys, he suddenly became sorrowful and began to shed tears. The monkeys hurriedly bowed and asked, "Great king, why are you troubled?" The monkey king said, "Though I am in joyful times, I have some distant worries, hence my sorrow." The monkeys laughed and said, "Great king, you are truly insatiable. We live every day in this blessed land of celestial mountains and divine caves, free from the control of killings and phoenixes, and unbound by earthly kingship. We are carefree and enjoy boundless blessings. Why should you have distant worries and be sorrowful?" The monkey king said, "Today, though we are not subject to the laws of human kings, nor do we fear the control of birds and beasts, but in the future, when we grow old and our vitality fades, we will be under the rule of a king of hell. Once we die, wouldn't it be a wasted life in this world, unable to stay in the celestial realm forever?" Hearing this, the monkeys covered their faces and wept, each worried about the impermanence of life. At this moment, a long-armed demon suddenly jumped out from a group, shouting loudly, "Great king, if you have such distant worries, it shows that you have an enlightened mind." Currently, among the 5 creatures, there are only 3 types that are not under the control of a king of hell. The monkey king asked, "Do you know which 3 types?" The demon replied, "Those are the Buddha, immortals, and sages, they can avoid the cycle of reincarnation, never being born or dying, and live as long as the heavens and the earth? The Monkey King asked. Where do these three reside? The demon answered. They dwell within a Jambud Viper world, in ancient caves and celestial mountains. Hearing this, the Monkey King was filled with joy and said, Tomorrow I will bid you farewell and leave the mountain. I will travel far and wide, exploring the ends of the earth, determined to find these three and learn the secret to eternal life, so I can forever escape the control of the King of Hell. These words instantly helped him escape a net of reincarnation, and he became a great sage equal to heaven. The monkeys applauded and exclaimed, Wonderful, wonderful! Tomorrow, we will cross the ridges and climb the mountains, widely searching for fruits to prepare a grand feast to send off our king. The next day, the monkeys indeed went to gather celestial peaches, exotic fruits, did appearance, collect Solomon's seal, pick orchid and fragrant thyme, rare earths, and flowers. They neatly arranged everything, set up stone benches and tables, and laid out immortal wine and delicacies. They saw golden round fruits and red, plump yellow ones. The golden cherries, wax cherries, were colorful and sweet. The red plums with yellow flesh were fragrant and tangy. Fresh longanids with sweet flesh and thin sting, fiery lychees with small seeds and red shells, green apples presented on branches, loquats in yellow buds with leeks, rabbit head carrots and chicken heart dates, quenching thirst, relieving annoyance, and refreshing the spirit, fragrant peaches and ripe apricots, delicious like jade nectar and ambrosia, crispy plums and dayberries, sweet and sour like creamy cheese and butter, ripe watermelons with red flesh and blood seeds, and large persimmons with yellow skin split into 4 segments, pomegranates burst open, revealing cinnabar-like seeds resembling crystal, fire, chestnuts split open, their hard flesh like golden agate, walnuts and dinkel nuts can be used for tea, and coconuts and grapes can be made into wine, hazelnuts, pine nuts, Korean nuts, and Chinese crabapes fill the plates, while oranges, sugarcane, tangerines, and mandarins overflow a table of steamed yams and boiled Solomon's seal, mashed porridge and koi seeds, slowly cooked into soup in a stone pot over a gentle fire. No matter how delicious human delicacies are, they can't compare to the joy and tranquility of the monkeys in the mountains. The monkeys honored the handsome Monkey King by seating him at the head, while they arranged themselves by age below. They took turns offering him wine, flowers, and fruits, and drank merrily for the entire day. The next morning, the handsome Monkey King rose early and instructed, Little ones, fetch me some dry pine branches to make a raft. Get a bamboo pole for a scow, and gather some fruits and other supplies. I'm setting off. He indeed boarded the raft alone, pushing off with all his strength, drifting away on the waves towards the sea, riding a heavenly wind. He arrived at the territory of South Jambud Viper. This journey was truly a naturally born immortal monkey with profound practice, leaving the mountain and steering the raft, riding a heavenly wind, sailing across the seas in search of the way of immortality, determined to establish great merits with a devoted heart. With fate and fortune, he breaks free from worldly desires, carefree, and meets the primordial dragon. He expects to encounter a kindred spirit, revealing a source and understanding myriad ways. It was also his good luck that, after boarding a raft, several days of strong southeast winds carried him to the northwest shore, precisely within the territory of South Jambud Viper. Testing the water depths with a bamboo pole, he found it shallow, abandoned the raft, and leaped ashore. He saw people by the sea fishing, hunting geese, digging for clams, and extracting salt. He approached them and performed some tricks, pretending to be a ferocious tiger, staring at people so much that they dropped their baskets and nets and fled in all directions. He caught someone who couldn't run away, stripped off his clothes, and imitated humans by putting them on. He swaggered through the towns and prefectures, mimicking people greeting each other and talking. By day, he found places to eat, and by night, he found places to stay. In his mind was focused on seeking the ways of a Buddha, immortals, and sages, in search of a method for eternal life. He saw that people in the world were all busy for fame and fortune, with none truly caring for their own lives. Indeed, it was one way the pursuit of fame and fortune and rising early and staying up late, never free, riding a mule and still desiring a fine horse, becoming a prime minister and still wanting to be a king or duke, worried about food and clothing. How can they fear the king of hell taking their lives, hoping for wealth and prosperity for their descendants? None are willing to turn back. The Monkey King sought a way of immortality but could not find it. He wandered through South Jambudvipa, passing by the Great Wall and small counties, and unknowingly, 8 or 9 years had passed. He suddenly reached the Great Western Ocean and thought that there must be immortals overseas. So, alone, he once again made a raft and drifted across the Western Sea, arriving at the territory of Western continent. After landing, he saw it for a long time and suddenly saw beautiful high mountain with deep forests, fearless of wolves, insects, tigers, or leopards. He climbed to the top to take a look. Indeed, it was a magnificent mountain, thousands of peaks like spears, tens of thousands of cliffs like screens. The sunlight reflected on the mist, lightly looking in the emerald colors. After a rain, the dark hills carried a cold blue glow. Withered vines wrapped around old trees. An ancient path led to a quiet place. Exotic flowers and auspicious grasses, tall bamboo and ancient pines. The tall bamboo and ancient pines, evergreen for millennia, surpass the blessed land. The exotic flowers and auspicious grasses, blooming year-round, rival the legendary pangolin. The calls of secluded birds are clear, and the sound of flowing springs is loud. Within the layers of valleys, orchids grow, and on every steep cliff, moss thrives. The undulating mountain ranges suggest a good breed and fame. Surely a high person must be hiding here. While observing, he suddenly heard someone talking deep in the forest. He hurriedly walked into the forest, listening closely, and realized it was a sound of singing. The lyrics are watching chess makes the wooden chess pieces rattle. The sound of chopping wood echoes clearly. Leisurely walking at the cloud's edge and valley entrance, selling firewood for one, laughing wildly and enjoying oneself in the autumn heights of a winding path, resting with a pine root as a pillow, sleeping until dawn, familiar with the old forest, climbing cliffs and crossing ridges, carrying an axe to cut withered vines, gathering a bundle of firewood, singing while walking in a market, exchanging it for 3 measures of rice, not competing, fair prices and no schemes or cunning, no honor or shame, peacefully continuing life wherever they meet. They are either immortals or Taoist priests, sitting quietly, lecturing on a haunting classic. The handsome Monkey King, overjoyed, exclaimed, "So, immortals are hiding here." He quickly leaped in and carefully observed. Finding a woodcutter chopping wood, the woodcutter's attire was quite unique. He wore a hat made from the outer husk of a new bamboo shoot. He wore clothes made of cotton, spun from wood cotton thread. Around his waist was a belt made from silk spun by old silkworms. On his feet, he wore straw sandals made from withered sedge. In his hand, he held a steel axe, and on his shoulder, he carried a rope made from hemp, splitting pine trees and chopping withered wood. This woodcutter was truly skilled. The Monkey King woke up and called out, "Old immortal, your disciple greets you." The woodcutter hurriedly dropped his axe, turned around, and returned the salute, saying, "I dare not accept such a title. I am just a crude person, with incomplete clothing and food. How can I be called an immortal?" The Monkey King said, "If you are not an immortal, How can you speak the words of an immortal? The woodcutter said. What immortal words did I say? The Monkey King replied. When I arrived at the edge of the forest, I heard you say wherever they meet. They are either immortals or Taoist priests, sitting quietly, lecturing on the Oriental Classic. The Oriental Classic is a Taoist scripture. If you're not an immortal, then what are you? The woodcutter laughed and said, To be honest with you, this verse is code for court fragrance, and it was taught to me by an immortal. The woodcutter said, That immortal lives next door to my home. Seeing the burdens and daily worries of my household, he taught me to recite these verses whenever I encounter troubles, both to clear my mind and to resolve difficulties. I was just feeling a bit restless, so I recited it. I didn't expect you to hear it, the Monkey King asked. Since you live next to an immortal, why don't you follow him to cultivate and learn a method for eternal life? Wouldn't that be wonderful? The woodcutter said, I have lived a hard life, raised by my parents from childhood until I was 8 or 9. I only began to understand the ways of the world. Unfortunately, my father passed away, and my mother was left a widow, with no siblings. It was up to me to serve her day and night. Now my mother is older and I dare not leave her. Additionally, our fields are barren, and we lack sufficient food and clothing. I can only chop some firewood, take it to the market to sell for a few coins, buy some rice to cook for myself, and support my elderly mother. Thus, I cannot cultivate away, the Monkey King said. From what you've said, you are a filial and noble person, and you will surely be rewarded in the future. But I hope you can point me to the immortal's residence so that I may visit him, the woodcutter said. Not far at all. This mountain is called the Lintai Mountain, and in the mountain, there's a slanting moon 3 stars cave. An immortal named Master Subodhi lives in that cave. He has taught many disciples, and there are still 30 or 40 practicing with him. Follow this small path and walk south for 7 or 8 li, and you'll reach his residence. The Monkey King grabbed the woodcutter and said, Brother, come with me, and if there are any benefits, I will not forget your guidance. The woodcutter replied, You really lack understanding. I've already told you so much, and you still don't get it. If I go with you, it will hinder my livelihood. Who will take care of my elderly mother? I need to chop firewood. You go on your own. The Monkey King, after hearing this, had no choice but to say goodbye. He left the deep forest, found a small path, and crossed a hill, walking for 7 or 8 li. Indeed, he saw a cave dwelling. He stood and observed. It was truly a wonderful place, with mist scattering colors and the sun and moon shimmering. Thousands of old cypresses, and tens of thousands of bamboo segments. The old cypresses were lush with rain, and the bamboo was vibrant with mist. Outside the gate, exotic flowers carpet the ground, and jade grass by the bridge releases its fragrance. The cliffs are covered with moist moss, and the long green algae grows on the hanging walls. One can often hear the cries of cranes and see a soaring of phoenixes. When the cranes call, their voices travel far. When the phoenixes fly, their feathers are dazzlingly colorful. Black apes and white deer are seen everywhere, and golden lions and jade elephants roam freely. Observing this blessed land in detail, it truly surpasses heaven. He also saw that the cave door was tightly closed, and it was quiet with no signs of people. Suddenly, he turned around and saw a stone tablet standing at the cliff's edge, about 3 shan high and 8 chi wide, with 10 large characters inscribed on it. Lintai Mountain, slanting moon 3 stars cave. The handsome Monkey King was overjoyed and said, This place is truly simple and unpretentious, and indeed there is this mountain and this cave. After looking around for a while, he didn't dare to knock on the door, so he jumped onto the top of a pine tree, picking pine nuts to eat and play. Before long, with a sound of "ya," the cave door opened, and out walked an immortal child. He was truly handsome and impressive, with an extraordinary appearance, different from ordinary people. His double buns were tied with silk, and his white robe fluttered in the wind. His elegant and refined features stood out from a common, and his mind was serene and clear, an ethereal resident of the mountains, an ageless child of longevity, untouched by dust. Time flowed freely. The child stepped out and called loudly, "How is disturbing this place?" The Monkey King jumped down from the tree and bowed, saying, "Immortal child, I am a disciple seeking to learn a way of the immortals. I would never dare to disturb this place." The immortal child laughed and said, "Are you here to seek a way?" The Monkey King replied, "Yes," the child said. "My master has just settled down and is about to start lecturing. Before explaining the reason, he sent me out to open the door." The child said, "A practitioner has come outside. Go and greet them. It must be you, right?" The Monkey King laughed and said, "Yes, it's me," the child replied. "Come with me inside." The handsome Monkey King straightened his clothes and respectfully followed the child into the depths of the cave heaven. There, he saw layers upon layers of deep pavilions and jade towers, rows upon rows of pearl palaces and shell chambers, and serene and quiet roofs, all leading up to a jade terrace. He saw Master Sabaody sitting solemnly on a platform, with 30 young immortals standing on either side below. Indeed, it was Great Awakening Golden Immortal, free of flaws, with the wondrous form of a Western Master Sabaody, neither born nor dying, following a three-free path, completely whole in spirit and energy, boundless in compassion, naturally changing in emptiness, true to inherent nature, living as long as heaven, a dignified body, a great master whose mind is illuminated through countless years. The handsome Monkey King, upon seeing him, prostrated himself and bowed countless times, saying, "Master, Master, your disciple sincerely salutes you." The master asked, "Where are you from? State your place of origin in name first, then bow." The Monkey King said, "Disciple from the cave of water curtain on a mountain of flowers and fruit in the kingdom of proudly coming, East Victory Continent." The master shouted, "Get him out. He is a liar and deceiver. How can he cultivate the way successfully?" The Monkey King hardly bowed repeatedly and said, "I am telling the truth. No deceit at all." The master replied, "If you are honest, then how can you claim to be from East Victory Continent? That place is separated by 2 great seas and 1 continent of South Jambud Vapor. How did you get here?" The Monkey King called out and said, "Disciple has drifted across oceans and traveled to various places for more than 10 years before finally finding this place." The master said, "Since you gradually made your way here, that is acceptable. What is your surname?" The Monkey King replied, "I have no surname. If people insult me, I do not get angry. If they hit me, I do not get upset. I simply offer my respects and move on. I've had no surname all my life." The master said, "I don't mean that kind of surname. What was your parents' surname?" The Monkey King responded, "I have no parents either." The master asked, "If you have no parents, were you born from a tree?" The Monkey King said, "Though I was not born from a tree, I grew from a stone. I only remember that on a mountain of flowers and fruit, there was an immortal stone. One year, the stone split, and I was born." The master, hearing this, was secretly pleased and said, "So, you are born of heaven and earth. Stand up and walk a few steps for me." The Monkey King jumped up and walked 2 circles. The master laughed and said, "Though your appearance is ordinary, you look like a monkey who eats pine nuts. I will give you a surname, and it will be Ho." The character who without a beast radical is Gu. Do means old, and Yu means moon. The old moon cannot give birth, so son would be a better choice. The character son without a beast radical is Shi. Means son, and Shi means infant. which perfectly matches the meaning of a child, so I will give you a surname, Son. The Monkey King, hearing this, was so delighted that he called out and said, Good, good, good. Today, I finally know my surname. I hope a master will be kind enough to give me a name for easier calling. The master said, In our sect, there are 12 characters used to name disciples in sequence. You are of the 10th generation of disciples. The Monkey King asked, What are the 12 characters? The master replied, They are Guan, Da, Si, Hui, San, Ru, Xin, Hai, Yin, Wu, Yuan. 12 characters. For you, it happens to be the character Wu. How about I give you the Dharma name Son Wukong? The Monkey King laughed and said, Good, good, good. From now on, call me Son Wukong. Indeed, at the dawn of creation, there was no surname. Breaking through ignorance, one must realize the emptiness. In short, we don't know what path the handsome Monkey King will cultivate, and the story will be revealed in the next chapter. Thank you for watching. I'm Genia. If you enjoy our content, please click subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated. We appreciate your support.